everyone, welcome to Wednesday on my channel with Shimelle's Sketches Reimagined. So today, this is our sketch that we have. So we have these kind of like a color blocked sketch and a big circle and two photos. And I'm going to change the sketch up a little bit. So I'm going to stick with the two photos. For these color blocks, I'm going to use, well, the papers I'm going to use are, I have white cardstock as my base, and then I'm thinking that I'm going to color block with this sheet of specialty vellum from Pink Paisley's Again and Again collection. And then originally I had thought maybe I'd color block in this and then layer some of these arrow pieces over, but I'm afraid I'm not going to like it and it's going to be really dark. So I think what I'm going to do is for my background, I'm going to use the white and I'm going to use the vellum on top and cut the vellum. Okay, and then I'm going to use this beautiful wood grain paper to create like a mat around my photo, and I'm thinking like maybe punch or back some journaling or use something, kind of use it just as an accent piece around the layout. And then for this circle-y piece, so when I didn't get to go to Creativation this year, I know I've said that before, but when Christina was at Creativation, she sent me some goodies. And one of the things that she sent me was this book from Minte Papers. It's called the Flora book. And the whole purpose of this book is that it has fussy cutting things in it. And you know how much I love to fussy cut. Now, if you don't want a fussy cut, there's like some neutrally backgrounds, but I want a fussy cut. So my plan was that I pulled these 3 pages from the fussy cutting book, and I'm going to fussy cut them off camera. I'm not going to make you watch that. And then, so this circle piece here, she it's like dots, like you would use brads or something back in the day, but trending right now are beautiful wreaths. So I thought I could fussy cut all these florals and create a beautiful wreath design around the photos, because my photos are were taken at a gardens, like a decorative gardens, where we went to the Butterfly Conservatory. It's Brookside Gardens in Maryland. It's stunning and beautiful to walk around and look at all the flowers, and I just thought that that would work. And so I chose from that Minte paper 3 cut aparts. Now they're not all flowers, right? Because these are photos of my son. So I have mixed in like the vintagey colors, some leaves, colors that match the colors in these 2 papers. Okay, I definitely pulled out more. I'm definitely going to fussy cut more than what I'm going to need, but I want to mix and match those flowers. And then just for titling and some embellishments or some knot paper, I got these Vicky Bouton layered stickers and the butterflies. I thought maybe these 3 could kind of intermix in my wreath. And then I did grab out the willow, and I grabbed out the Again and Again captured thickers. And I was thinking titling options. Like this little stories would be a nice one for this particular set of pictures. Maybe this lovely or some of these gold to kind of go in with the gold that's in the 2 specialty papers. So that is my plan. I am going to be changing this sketch up in that respect. I'm probably also not going to put my title here. I'll probably have my title, my journaling, and my title or my journaling up here, and then maybe just a cluster that also includes my title or journaling down here, so it kind of balances out. And then, so for Shimelle's layout, if you go to her blog, which is always linked below, she used a framed paper, which I don't even know that they exist, that anyone makes them anymore. So when I looked at it, I thought specialty papers, because collections always have these gorgeous specialty papers the specialty vellums and stuff, and they can be a little tricky to use, and this is a really great sketch and a really nice way to incorporate some of those pretty specialty papers into it. And then I have this wood grain too, which I'm going to use just for accent pieces. I'm thinking like up here, map my photos, things like that. So that is my plan. Let's see how I go. I'm going to go off camera and I'm going to fussy cut these out first. So I'm going to fussy cut them and I'm going to ink them using Distress Oxide Vintage Photo, which will be highly tedious and you don't need to watch all that. And then I'll come back after I fussy cut everything and we'll go ahead and put this layout together. So after catching up on all of my favorite TV shows, I had fussy cut all of these lovely flowers. Now I'm going to get to work on the rest of my layout. I'm going to start by cutting up this vellum sheet. So I liked the idea of cutting up the vellum and having the arrows go all different directions. So I'm going to cut the vellum into 4 pieces. But I'm not going to cut them evenly at all. These aren't going to be even cuts at all. They're going to be straight, but I want them to be the pieces to be offset and all the arrows to be going a ton of different ways. So I'm just kind of getting an idea here of how I am going to have these match up and what they're going to look like. And now I can just go ahead and piece them together onto the white cardstock, giving them like these nice borders. And when I glued them down, I was sure just to put some glue on the triangles. I don't think you would have been able to see it if I had just glued it regular. These Kokoyo dot runners seem to be quite good at not showing through on vellum. But just to be on the safe side, I decided to go ahead and do it this way. So I'm just lining this up. Lining it up was a little hard because, you know, vellum likes to slide around. But I think in the end I did pretty good. And as you can see, I have the arrows, the design on the vellum going all different ways. And I really, really like that. I think that I like that effect more than I would have liked just the plain vellum. I'm going to make sure that some of the corners are kind of stuck down good because I know I'm going to be going ahead and layering things on top of it. Now I'm just going to give my photos a little bit of a mat. This is going to make my photo block bigger than the photo block that's in the sketch, but I really wanted the pictures to have a nice mat around them. I am sorry if you can hear my whining dog. He would like me to throw his tennis ball, and instead I'm talking, which does not make him happy at all. If my mini doxy Fitz, his name is Fitzwilliam Darcy, if he finds that I am in fact sitting, then I must want to throw him his tennis ball. And if I don't throw him his tennis ball and I'm sitting, then we whine. Anyway, the joys of a miniature dachshund. I should do more pages of him. I have so many pictures of him. I really should do more puppy pages. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead. I'm going to put my matted pictures down. And now I want to work on the wreath element in this sketch. So I've had questions before about this blue kind of frame that I use to trace circles. This is part of Creative Memories' custom cutting system, and I don't know that they still have this really large circle. I was a consultant for many, many years, and I haven't been one since 2012. So I'm not sure what their product line looks like right now, or if they still have things like this, but that's where I got that. So I'm going to sort these flowers into piles before I start creating my wreath. And the way I'm going to sort them is that I'm going to start with the flowers that have little stem pieces, and I'm going to use those to start creating my wreath. And once I have the stem pieces attached, then I'll move on to the other flowers. But for now, I'm just taking all the pieces that have little stems attached to them, and I'm going to go ahead and place them around my pencil marks where I traced the circle. The next thing I'm going to add are the flowers, and I'm going to place them somewhat over some of those stems. So the stems gave me a nice line to follow, and now I'm just placing the flowers around the wreath. And I'm popping some up with pop dots, and then I'm also spreading them around. So we have some of every flower all around our wreath, and the colors are all around the wreath too. So I'm just going to continue on here, placing the flowers down, looking at where I have little holes that are maybe just the stems of other flowers and things like that. And I'm going to go ahead and place all those flowers around the edges, around my wreath. So the last areas, the last little bits of these fussy cut flowers I'm going to add to my wreath are the tiny little leaves. And these just provide those last little bits. So I'm just adding the wreath pieces, these smaller leaves, the leaves, in and around the wreath. Again, just kind of spreading them out, making that pencil line, and then adding the stemmed flowers definitely help to provide a base for me to be able to then build up my wreath. So I'm taking 2 strips of this wood grain paper, and I'm going to create kind of a banner shape up at the top. That banner shape is going to go ahead and house a little bit of the journaling that I want to add to my layout. I wasn't happy with the way that one fishtail turned out, so I flipped the paper over and tried again. I was a little bit more happy with that. I'm adding a little bit of vintage photo distressing to these banners. I didn't really add that to anything else, but I did to the flowers as I was fussy cutting them. But this paper has all white core and was very obvious, so adding that vintage photo just kind of blended it all up and together. I'm going to use this thicker word that says good things. This is from Pink Paisley's Again and Again collection, and I figured it's beautiful. It's a gold. It just says good things, and it fit really nice and snugly right into that little open spot by the wreath. So I decided that I would flip the sketch around a little bit, and I just go ahead and add my title right there. And then to add just a little more of that gold, so it's brought into the entire layout, I grabbed one of these really pretty border stickers that is part of the thicker set, and added it just across the top of my banner pieces. Now I wanted to use this tag as this tag as my journaling spot. So I'm going to go ahead and make sure that I like the way it's going to fit there. And I'm going to layer it up with some of these butterflies. The butterflies and some of the flowers from both the Vicky Bouton collection, those flowers that I have there, and then the sticker and some of the other elements I'm going to pull in are from One Canoe 2's Willow collection, which I adore, and there is still so much of it left over at A Cherry on Top that I'm going to have another layout tomorrow using just that collection because it's really one of my very favorites from the summer, fall, winter releases. So I'm going to go ahead and use some of these little phrase stickers from the Willow collection, and then I'm going to use some of these butterflies. I know I want to use that orange one because my son is wearing an orange hat in the photos, and so I wanted to pull just a little more. There is some orange, but now I want to add just a couple more pops of orange on this page. And I'm also going to go ahead and spread around more of these Vicky Bouton layered butterflies. They're like a layered vellum butterfly, and I really liked kind of the breezy, ethereal type of a look that they were giving my layout. I put one up by the title and a couple over on the tags, but I think I'm going to add a couple more in yet. And that's going to complete this layout. And here are the beautiful close-ups for you. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope that you have a fabulous Wednesday. I'll see you back again next week. Remember that next week is our guest designer week, so we have 2 amazing ladies that are going to be joining us with our sketch of the week. I will talk to you all very, very soon. Bye.